Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here, coming back at you with another video. So I've been thinking, and I've truly dropped off modern gaming. Just as a whole, pretty much quit it cold turkey. And I want to kind of talk about the reasons why. Just overall, like, I'm a big gamer. I've been gaming my entire life. And I love video games. I like the industry. I like the people that like make the games. I like talking about video games. I just genuinely love video games. But where gaming is right now and where I see it going in the future, like the modern day gaming industry, I don't fucking like it anymore. It's just almost all awful. So basically, like, the modern gaming industry, it's so not what I grew up playing and what I like. But basically, like, to me, the golden age of, like, gaming is, like, PlayStation 2, like, the 6th generation of consoles. I just think it was great. It was before the internet, so we didn't have, like, no online gaming. There was no DLC. You'd go out to a store, like GameStop, Best Buy, they'd have a whole shelf, whole store full of video games. You can go in, you can look at them, buy like a disc. The whole game was on the disc. There was no downloading. There was no... And just overall, I think the quality of games back then are better than what they are now. Even though games now are technically more graphically superior, more like, technically, like, more technically sound, like games like play better and like look better, they're being made worse. And I think it's consistent through the entire game industry. Like, games just do not live up to like the standards that like the 6th generation like set. And like a big reason, like proof that like helps my point is if you look at like modern game releases now, the biggest games are remakes of PlayStation 1 and 2 games. Like Final Fantasy VII, for instance. That's one of the biggest games out right now, and that's a remake of a PlayStation 1 game. And it's just like, why are people more excited for Final Fantasy VII, a game that was made on the PlayStation 1 is just kind of like being remade now, than they were for Final Fantasy 16? Because, like, really, people should like be like, oh, that's cool, they're remaking 7, okay, I'll go play that, and like that should be fun. But like, you should be losing your mind for Final Fantasy 16 because it's the newest one. It's a new story. It's like completely new, and you should like it. But like, people are more excited for the 7 game than they are 16 because people know, like, if you've been in the gaming industry long enough, or like being a gamer long enough, you know that like, okay, the modern game, it's gonna probably be alright, but it's not gonna be as good as, you know, that PlayStation 1 game we used to love. And I don't think it's nostalgia. I genuinely think that like, just games are worse now than they were back then. And another thing that proves my point is I've been playing a bunch of games on my AYN Odin 2. And this thing can emulate PlayStation 2, GameCube, Wii, even Switch. And I've been going back and playing a bunch of PlayStation 2 games I used to play, and some I haven't even played yet. And genuinely, they are better games than anything coming out now. Like, perfect example is Raw Danger. I didn't play that game growing up. I've recently played it. I did it on stream for Backlog Battle, and that game was fucking fantastic. It was so much fun. You can tell how much heart and soul the people making that game put into that. It's just so good, and it's like, I didn't get that feeling from any modern game now. So that's a big reason why I just kind of like am falling off modern gaming. And then there's like also like reasons like I don't like Nintendo anymore. Well, I think Nintendo's still good. I don't like Nintendo's stance on emulation. I've made videos about this in the past. But basically, Nintendo's going hard against emulators, Switch and 3DS specifically. And Nintendo's stance on ownership is they're basically making the argument that even though you buy a Switch game, you have the plastic, you have the actual cartridge, you don't actually own the data that's on that cartridge. That's still Nintendo's, and you can't do what you want with it. That's bullshit, and if that's Nintendo's mindset, like, going forward, I don't want to support your company. So that's my stance on Nintendo. And Sony really hasn't done anything anti-consumer, but definitely the higher-ups in Sony, like, the direction they want to go is alienating people like me. Like, Sony wants to make these, like, big-name, like, movie games like God of War, Uncharted, The Last of Us. Like, Sony wants to make those types of games, and I hate, like, those games. Like, they're not bad, they're just not my favorite, and I just don't think they're that great. And Sony's, like, almost exclusively focusing on games like that, and they really want to capture, like, normal people, like normies, and they don't give a shit about their, like, legacy fans, where it's just like, I've been around since, like, the PlayStation 1, playing on PlayStation 1, I have a PlayStation 2, 3, 4, I don't have a PlayStation 5, because there's no reason for me to get one. There's no games I really want to play. It's like, yes, they have, like, Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16, and Final Fantasy 7, but even so, I don't really, like, eventually all of those games are going to be on Steam, so I'll just wait for the Steam version to come out. And it's just like, you don't have any other games besides that. And like, a big, like, what would make me buy a PlayStation 5 is if they came out and said, the PlayStation 5 is completely backwards compatible with all other PlayStation games. That would be a day one purchase for me. And, like, a big reason for that is just, like, you could do it. You just need a disc drive that can read CDs, DVDs, and Blu-rays. But it's like Sony doesn't care about that. They don't care that you like PlayStation 2 games. They don't care that you love PlayStation 1 games. They just would rather just resell you, like, new games or remakes of the fucking PlayStation 1 games. And it's just like, yeah, you could just miss me with that. So, like, again, I kind of just jumped off the modern gaming industry. I just don't care about it anymore. Again, I'm still, like, a gamer, but I'm pretty much only gonna be playing, like, PlayStation 2, Wii, maybe, like, PS3 games. Like, anything from, like, the 6th to 7th, maybe even 8th generation, but, like, going onwards, like, where gaming is going, I really don't want any part of it. And, like, like, gaming was just way better in the 6th generation. Like, before they introduced online and DLC and, like, online communities, all of that shit made gaming worse. It just did. It took all the magic and fun out of gaming, and yeah, I just miss it. And it's just like, I'm not really, I thought I would be, like, more upset when the day came where it's just like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna, like, buy any new video game. I'm just kind of gonna drop off and just stick to the games that I like. I thought I was gonna be more sad, but it's just like, I'm not, because the modern, like, I don't feel like I'm missing out because the modern industry just sucks. It's just fucking awful. So, yeah, I just want to make a video, get my thoughts out, just kind of, like, rant about it. But let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about, like, the modern gaming industry? Again, there are some modern games that are coming out that I'm excited for, like Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. I can't wait to play that. I really do want to play Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I think that game looks pretty good. And, like, any, like, new Sonic game. So there are, like, a few new games that, like, I'd want to go out and, like, pick up, but very few and far between. Really, like, the modern gaming industry, like, the modern gaming industry train, like, where it's going, I think I'm gonna get off this stop and just really not even look back. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like modern gaming? Are you happy with the way the game industry is going? I think a lot of people aren't. So, yeah, anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me out. Thank you. Bye-bye.